Hello everyone, this is Atamatronics. This is a review of the Halloween costume 7-foot floating ghost. This was initially sold in the 2020 season, but still remains on the website as of 2025. I bought this in the 40% off sale. My first one, Fried Halloween Costumes, was really great about it, and they sent over a new one. This new one, works absolutely fantastically and scares the people that I show it to. The mechanism is mechanically simple. A spring assists it, and when you're not using it, you can unhook it. Please note, you should not take the spring off during operation, otherwise the motor will struggle to pull it back up. It comes with a foot pad. The control box features a speaker, a sound sensor, no motion sensor, a foot pad jack, a plug, a 6-volt, 1 amp plugged, correct me if I'm wrong, volume control, and on and off. When it's off, that's step pad mode also. On is sound sensor. During the setup, fabric is draped over the base and along the pole to give it the illusion it's floating, but that, in my opinion, that doesn't work well. I think it would be less noticeable if they just removed that altogether, as the poles aren't thin, but they're not too big either. If you're outside the US, you'll need an adapter. I got this one off Amazon for £7. I'll do the demo before I do my thoughts. Now for my thoughts. From this point on, I will be yapping, not just giving facts. The head is really well sculpted, and I think the detail is absolutely incredible. The fact that it slopes down is great. I really like that. The eyes, the LED eyes, they're really nice. They're not protruding cheaply like the Haunted Lady or other props. The mechanism is pretty much entirely metal. As you can see here, it's pretty much entirely metal, other than these bits here, which even companies like SVI use. Speaking of companies, this is by Party Gears. I really like Party Gears. I think they make good stuff very cheap, and that's always good. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not really a fan of that base. I think that they could have just showed it normally, and I think that would have been absolutely fine. As for the fabric on the arms, for some reason they didn't even bother to include Velcro, which means that you're going to have to pray that it doesn't fall down during operation on Halloween. It doesn't, like, if you watch the Bill Brothers unboxing, it, like they say, it is quite thick. It's shredded fabric, which looks good, but it's incredibly cheap, and as you can see, it is fraying. The animation is awesome in my opinion. It's super scary, and despite not being a jump scare prop, it does seem to scare pretty much all the people that I show it to. You can see that all the attention was put into the head and not the rest, as it is just fabric. There is no hip loops here. The head is vinyl, and then the chest is latex. Now I'm going to show you my number one gripe with this thing. If you've owned any Halloween prop, you know that once something gets to the bottom, like a jump scare prop or something, there's a limit switch at the bottom. Some people call it a relay switch, which is just untrue. I don't know why they call it that, but it's a limit switch at the bottom, and once it clicks that, it stops the motor. This ghost notably lacks that. This means it stops at the bottom. This is bad, as it can give away the illusion of, well, it can give away the animation, which means the scare might not have its full effect. I understand it does make the prop cheaper, but it does take away from the effect. Here's the mechanism. As you can see there, it falls back down. You can push it back up to the top, but you don't want to be resetting the scare every time when in reality it should be doing it by itself. I think the motor is quite good. I think that's going to be lasting quite a long time. This was my review of the Halloween costumes. 7 foot floating ghost. It says 6 foot, but it's not really. Thank you for watching and goodbye.